A few issues back in Boardroom Insider, I ran an article about all the things the typical board of directors doesn't know about in an organization. Its people, its problems, its threats, and its opportunities. No doubt the number of unknown unknowns in the boardroom is a problem, but it can also have its upsides. Think of your directors, especially the independent outsiders, as savvy amateurs when it comes to your company. Now it's easy for amateurs to drop in left field ideas on the professionals who know better, but your board members really do know a few things. You name them for their experience, their connections, and their real world savvy. They may not know the day-to-day intricacies of your business, but sometimes that can be an asset. Here's a historic example. Early in the Second World War, the Allied strategic bombing campaign in Europe faced frightening losses, largely from anti-aircraft fire. More armor protection of the primary U.S. bomber, the B-17, was needed, so the U.S. Air Forces set its statistical division to work, measuring where the most damage was seen on returning bombers, spots that they would then up-armor. All good, but one statistician, an outsider in the field, raised a question. Flak damage by its nature is random. Planes will be hit everywhere. Thus, shouldn't we examine instead the returning B-17s for areas of little or no damage? Those zones weren't magically protected. Instead, that was where a hit meant the plane never returned to be counted. Sure enough, a review of the numbers found two spots, one near the cockpit and another in the rudder area, were hardly ever found damaged on the planes that made it back home. These areas were then reinforced, and slowly bomber losses fell. Now put this inside out, what's missing perspective to work in your boardroom. Say your IT staff reports to the board on intrusion attempts on the company's networks. You get lots of statistics and lots of tech terms you don't understand. But one unit of the company has far fewer attacks than the others. Again, sounds good. But what if one board member asks if that means hackers who target that unit instead do the best job of going undetected? If so, or if not, how would you be sure? Or your board's discussing company diversity initiatives. You've invested lots of training and resources into anti-bias programs, and all of the white guys named George on your board see it as a problem eliminated. Then your newest director, a black woman executive, clears her throat and politely mentions a few flaws no one else noticed. Outside directors may not know everything about the company that insiders do, but sometimes that's a blessing. I'm Ralph Ward from the Boardroom for November.